And I'm taking this across to News Director Rahul Kanwal for an exclusive conversation with Kiran Rijiju.
To get a sense of how the world of sports is gearing up for life post-corona, we're joined live and exclusive on India Today at this time by Union Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju. He's put in place an elaborate roadmap for sports to recommence. Minister Rijiju, welcome. I see you've been working out a bit in your own lawn and trying to keep yourself fit, but we also know that athletes have had the longest break that they've ever had in their professional careers. Can you give us the broad contours of how you think sports activities can resume in a time when we're also grappling with the coronavirus? Welcome, Minister.
Thank you very much, Rahul. We have been working for quite some time now to resume the sporting activities, but before that we will have to think about the practice and training. We are not going to have a tournament kind of situation immediately. So the athletes who are all kept in their respective hostels or respective home, unable to go out and practice, but in the background their fitness and everything have been tracked, and they are in touch with the coaches, the fitness experts, the high performance directors. They are monitoring each and every athlete who are of that higher stature, who play for India or who play for higher clubs and all. So we have been planning out, and now it has been laid out. Sports Authority of India has prepared a detailed SOP. These are prepared by experts, medical team, sports experts from different fields. So this SOP is already been issued to all the sports federations and other sports bodies, including the government stakeholders. So based on this SOP, the training and everything will start. We have been clearly advising that the health and safety are the top priorities, and besides that we have to keep in mind two other things. One is the guidelines issued by the Home Ministry, and secondly the guidelines or the restrictions or whatever is being prepared by the administration of that locality in the respective state. So these are to be taken into account, but we have already clearly stated that sports complexes and stadias are open. So stadia and sports complex. Other than that, there should be no sporting activities till the lockdown is open or we come out with a renewed kind of advice. So that is one thing. Secondly, we have to learn to live with a situation where the sporting events are to be carried forward without spectators in the stadium and the sports venue. So this is something which is a new thing for the entire global community, sports without spectators. But we are also thinking about how to make it interesting by using technology, television telecasts and other social media, live streaming and other whatever can be done.
So we saw in Europe that the German Football League started. There was a lot of global attention around that. We saw also the Italian Football League making preparations to restart. When do you think the first competitive match will take place in India? Which sport could it be? How soon will it be, Minister?
See, there are different sports with different characters. There are some sports like Kabaddi which have a direct contact with the opposite players. Football, direct contact with the opposite players. But there are, sports like cricket or table tennis or badminton and athletics. These are individual kind of thing where you perform but you don't come into contact with the opponent player. But wrestling, boxing, this you have to straightly in contact with the opponent. So there are different yardsticks which are to be adopted. So I can say that since we are preparing with the entire documents how to go about it, the real match on the ground will depend on each federation coming out with its own kind of SOP, because like cricket, BCCI is planning something for cricket matches in India. Same as the boxing federation, same as the kabaddi. So likewise, I cannot immediately say, but we can say that at least in next 3 to 4 months time, if the situation doesn't worsen in India, then we can see some events. So I am also in touch with all the stakeholders and the other federations also. I am also very eager to see the matches, because without sports, life becomes very dull in everybody's life. So we will have to ensure that we must give priority to health, safety, but we also want that sporting event to happen as soon as possible.
There's a lot of interest in the resumption of cricket. There's some talk about the IPL possibly being held in October, November. Do you think it's possible that there could be a match, Minister? The IPL, could it take place in October, November in your view?
See, in India, as I said, government has to take a call. And government will take a call depending on the situation of the pandemic, how we progress as a nation. We can't put the whole health of the nation in risk just because of we want to have a sporting event to be held. About the other countries elsewhere, I can't say, because that is a sovereign decision of each country. But right now, since our focus is to fighting the COVID-19, so that becomes the priority. At the same time, we will have to work out mechanism to ensure that we get back to normalcy, especially in the sporting arena. We must ensure that our youths, our players, athletes, they get back to the track, they get back to their respective play field. That is what we want. So I think it's very difficult to predict and state anything about the confirmation of dates and all, but I'm very pretty sure that we will come over this pandemic, and we will have within this year have some kind of a sporting event in different format, different nature maybe.
There's a lot of focus on the Tokyo Olympics, which were to take place from the 24th of July to the 9th of August. That's now been pushed to next year. What's your sense? Do you believe all the athletes who are training, the fans who are prepping up, that there could be an Olympics next year? Because we won't have a vaccine by then. It's possible that everybody may not be vaccinated, and therefore there is a risk of the disease spreading. Should people still hope that there will be an Olympic next year, or do you think it's almost certain that there won't be an Olympic next year?
Oh no, Olympic is far away, and 1 year is a very long time. And if you count from now, this is May, it's more than a year, because the proposed Olympic date is 23rd July to 2021. So Japan, we have full confidence on the Japanese government and IOC, and we are pretty sure that every country will support that the conduct of Tokyo 2021 will not be postponed, because it has been postponed by 1 year already. There are too many stakes in Olympics. Every country has invested so much. It's the greatest sporting event. Not only a sporting event, Olympic is the biggest event on the planet Earth. So it's difficult to even foresee or to contemplate that Olympic can be postponed or cancelled. We are not looking at that. And as far as India's preparation goes, we are at the best stage of our preparation for any Olympics so far in the history of India's journey to the Olympics. We have already qualified maximum numbers of athletes for Tokyo Olympics. We are on the verge of having more qualification. And this is going to be the biggest Indian contingent, not in terms of size alone, but in terms of real potential to win medals. But I'm not saying that we are so prepared that we will come in the top 10, top 5 like that. But our long-term target is, as I have stated earlier, that 8-year cycle to produce champion by scouting talents, identifying training, practice, everything. So 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, India will have to be in top 10. That I have already shared my vision with the sports fraternity. But right now for the Tokyo Olympics, since our preparation is good, I don't want to damage the preparation due to this COVID-19. So I have been in touch with all the federations, and I have spoken to most of the top athletes, especially those who have qualified. Discipline wise, I had video conferencing with everyone, and I am in touch with everyone. So we are infusing all kind of support system into their preparation while they are still in the lockdown. We are in touch with them. But what is important is now this momentum which we had prepared should not die down, because Olympic is more than 1 year away. So that momentum has to be maintained. At the same time, the larger sports industry, because sports employs so many millions of people, from the sports equipments manufacturing to sporting events, employing people, thousands of people are involved directly, indirectly. So the whole sporting ecosystem has to be kept alive. It has to be robust. That is how the athletes are grown out of this ecosystem. So I am looking at the larger angle. While preparing for the Tokyo Olympics, we are also looking for the long-term goal, for that our younger generation, picking up of young athletes at the age of 11, 12, 13, these have all started. You'll be surprised to know that more than 15,000 young athletes are already being identified, half of them already in the training academies and all, but because of the COVID-19, we had to send all of them back to their respective places. But we will get them soon, because I'm seeing that since the practice and these activities have started, so we will have in the second batch, because we are doing in the phase wise, second batch we will get the young athletes back to the training.
What about the mental health of athletes? Because for everyone, COVID-19 has been disruptive, because you're used to a certain schedule, that schedule gets thrown off track. But for athletes who are at the peak of their health, at the peak of their performance, they are preparing for whether it's an IPL or an international tournament, or for example the Olympics, and suddenly they are they're told they can't practice, and that's all that they know. How important, according to you, has been mental conditioning, and how are you helping India's athletes minister to try and deal with the issues about depression, about isolation, about just feeling frustrated that you can't do what you've been gearing to do your whole life?
See, one is we have to make sure that they do not really have that break in their mindset. Break in their physical training is already there, but there should be a continuation in the way they have prepared in their mind. So the sports psychologists, physiologists, the trainers, all the experts are all in touch with the behavior of an athlete's physical condition. This is something which are very important in the sports. Sports science is become critical in developing sporting icons, champions, because these really give the final flip, that edge which make somebody a champion, a loser or a winner. So since the lockdown has been prolonged, 2-3 months of lockdown or a break is a long time in the life of an athlete. So what I'm thinking is, once we are ready with this practice session and everything, we will see that which are the athletes who should be solely targeting the Olympics. Because I feel those who have qualified for the Olympics, they need not take too much of pressure into themselves by taking part in various other tournaments and all, which will be very taxing on their health. So I am just saying that I will support whatever is good for them, because it is the experts, it is the high performance directors, the top coaches, they have to decide. But I, as a sports minister, my responsibility is to ensure that all the support systems are in place so that our preparation do not get disrupted due to the COVID-19 disruptions.
Finally, what about empty stadiums? There's a lot of research which shows that just having fans cheer brings out the best in sports people, and a lot of fans will also say maza nahi aa raha. Are you concerned about that? That just empty stadiums won't bring out the best of sports, and that's something that we'll be resigned to till the time we can deal with this virus.
No, absolutely, I agree with you. Sports without spectator is like body without soul. It's like totally lifeless. But as I told you earlier, we have to live with the situation for some time in near future. At least some foreseeable future time, we will have to live with this situation, this reality, that sports without spectators in the stadium. But as I said, we have to have that alternative mechanism. We have technology with us in today's world. So we have to devise a strategy, devise a particular kind of method to make a particular sporting discipline event an interesting one. And for that, it's being worked out. Different federations have different mechanisms. Even the telecast rights holders, they are also developing certain kind of a mechanism. So I'm sure for some time spectators will have to enjoy sports from home. You cannot just risk everybody because you want to have that old kind of a system where you go, pay and watch. So at least for some time, let us assume that there will be no spectators at least for this year. From next year, things as it emerges, we will see how it can be done. But for the moment, let us enjoy the sports from our home. That is a new normal.
I'll leave it over there. You've shared some insights on how you hope that players and fans can cope with the resumption of sports. It's important for the players to ensure that the frustration doesn't get to them, that they can keep their motivation levels high and try their best to stay as close to peak form as possible. We wish them and you, Minister, all the best. Thank you very much for joining us on your plan for the resumption of Indian sports. That's Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju speaking first and exclusively to India Today about how sports will be played in this post-pandemic era. We're slipping into a break. We'll have more for you on the other side. Stay with us.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.